and then Coach Miller and Graham and Dr. Crow will stick around for one-on-ones. They are in no hurry. Don't be in a hurry. They know to stick around. Dr. Crow will have to leave a little bit earlier. But other than that, our time is yours. Dr. Crow, off to you.
Yeah, what I would have to say, being very excited to meet Coach Miller here. We met before, but by the way, I have 3 grandchildren named Miller because my son-in-law is also a Miller. It's a very rare name, I know.
I was Coach Carter before I married Derek, so I'm
a movie star.
Yeah, Coach Carter sounds a little bit better, but.
I just was with today some leaders of a German university, and they of course will often ask you, well, what is this thing about sports in the United States? You know, what is this all about? Why do we do this? And I said that in American institutions, the idea of competition is embedded in the colleges and the universities in a way which it intends to find a way to be reflective of the entire society. Can you take young people who are students? Can you take these students who are studying for their advancement in their life, bring them together at the beginning of the peak of their athletic life, and can you get them to compete at the highest level possible? That's what it's all about. In the football championship bowl series of the last cycle, of the 8 final teams, 6 of the teams were the most elite research universities in the United States, including ASU, meaning in research they're competitive, in faculty they're competitive, in student performance they're competitive, and in all sports. And as you heard in the quote, and I see Coach Turner Thorne here, my hope is that Coach Miller can restore ASU women's basketball to the highest level of competitiveness possible at a moment when women's basketball is taking off like a rocket. I mean, I think there were more people that watched the women's tournament last year than the men's tournament. And I got 4 granddaughters. Very, very exciting. So for me, Coach Miller, Molly, I'm just all in for you to be as successful as possible, to get unbelievable competitiveness, unbelievable participation, people in the community, building for Phoenix here, the kinds of focus that we should have on women's basketball. So I'm just very, very excited that you can be here. And as you and I have talked about, I mean, the competition at our level is the highest possible. It's the highest that exists. The teams that we play, the tournaments that we play, and the things that we do. And so everybody's got to up their game in everything that we do, including our university president, me, our new athletic director, Graham, and our new women's basketball coach, Molly Miller. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just want to offer some brief comments before we turn it over to Coach Miller. And just, good afternoon, and thank you everybody for carving out some time to be here. Jam-packed room here at Papago Golf Club, and we're feeding off this enthusiasm since we made the announcement over the weekend. And so it's a momentous occasion for Arizona State University. We're beyond thrilled to welcome a proven and dynamic leader to the Sun Devil family today. And so, out the gate, have a round of thank yous I'd like to offer, certainly the Arizona Board of Regents and President Crow for supporting the hire of Coach Miller. A number of ASU colleagues, Lisa Young, Christina Wambacher, Scott Nelson, Carrie Schomback, Doug Tamaro, Steve Webb, Jason Miller, Laura Foster, Juliana Nicosia, to name a few, that were in the trenches over a very intense couple-week period to get to the decision over the weekend that Coach Miller was the perfect leader to take our Sun Devil program to the next level. A couple special welcomes. These are always fun moments. I see Mrs. Pat Brock, wife of the legendary Dr. Jim Brock, in attendance today. Thank you for being here. The First Lady of Sun Devil Athletics. Coach Turner Thorne. Charlie, thank you for being here. Charlie's been a great friend for a long time and was an integral part of our process, and her feedback and insight and experience, not only at ASU, but also in the sport of women's basketball, were incredible throughout the process. We've got a number of our junior Sun Devil Club members here. The next round of Sun Devils in the pipeline, and so we're so excited to have kids and families continue to plug into everything that we're doing here at ASU. We've got a number of members of the ASU leadership team, other Sun Devil athletic colleagues that are here today, including many of our head coaches. And so again, the excitement around Coach Miller and the direction of our program is second to none. A number of our partners as well. And it's been a couple weeks. It feels like it's been an incredible process, but in our first conversation, it was very clear that Coach Miller saw ASU as more of a job, more than just a job. It was a destination. It was a place that she had her sights set on, and she recognized the tremendous potential of our university, the rich heritage of our athletic department, and the incredible support of our student athletes on and off the field. And we believe that there's no better platform to develop young people than through intercollegiate athletics. And as the world's taking our industry in some different directions, we're doubling down on developing young people through sport and putting out the next head coaches and CEOs and leaders through the background that they get a chance to be a part of. And she's joining, not just a basketball program, but an integral part of an athletic department that's on the rise. At this exact moment, we have 13 of our 26 programs in the top 25. We've got 6 in the top 10. We've won 4 Big 12 championships so far. Triathlon finished national runner-up. We're graduating athletes at record levels. This is a destination, and this is a place that people want to be a part of, and we're seeing that with the hire of Coach Miller today. Her commitment to excellence, her passion for developing student athletes both as players and individuals, and her record of success speaks volumes about what she brings to the program. She's proven time and time again that she can lead teams to championship outcomes, and we're confident she'll do the same here at ASU. Molly's vision for Sunnyvale basketball aligns very much with what we hope for our entire department and our university as a whole. She demonstrates the values we hold dear at ASU: determination, grit, leadership, and the pursuit of greatness. And so we're so excited to have her join us, and we look forward to watching this program soar under her leadership. And so, Coach Miller, welcome to the Sun Devil family. The future is bright, and we're so thrilled to have you along the way. And a special thank you for Derek, Crosby, and Cy for sharing mom with the Sun Devils. So. If you would all please officially join me in welcoming Coach Molly Miller to the Sun Devil basketball program, and we'll do the jersey photo op.
No, seriously, is it season yet? I mean, I cannot wait. I am humbled, I am honored, and I am grateful to be your next women's basketball coach at Arizona State. And there are some thank yous and people that I want to acknowledge. Obviously, first sitting to my right and my left, just thank you, Dr. Crow. Thank you, Graham, for your belief and your trust in me. It was very, very clear when I was speaking to you how you embraced the holistic student. And that really aligned with my vision of how I approach my relationships with the holistic student athlete. And I want to make a meaningful impact on the court and off the court and reflect ASU's mission. When I was at Drury, in the process, I've started with this and I've taken it with me. And that's kind of the phrase, more than champions. And I want to be elite in everything we do. I want to be elite in the classroom. I want to be elite in the pursuit of authentic competition and championships. I want to be elite when we engage with the community and our fans and band and cheer and dance. I want to be elite when it comes to community service. So all those things align with Dr. Crow's vision. And then Graham, I mean, there are 2 words that come to mind. Well, many probably, but 2 I want to share.
Okay.
It's visionary leader. And he has not only invested in the team's success, but he's fostering an environment for staff, faculty, coaches, student athletes to thrive. And I just wanted to be a part of that. He has just elevated that forward-thinking approach that I think is the perfect recipe for continued growth. So I'm so excited to take this journey with both of you, and thank you again. So. I also want to thank the entire athletic administration team and the department. There's too many names to name, but through my onboarding process, Lisa, Christina, Juliana, you have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I do want to thank the past players, the past administrators, the past coaches, the past fans who have supported this program. I'm so grateful that Charlie is here. Shout out to CTT. I've been on the phone with her often. There was like 3 things that I asked her to do. She's like, how can I help? And I'm like, really? Because you can't help. And she was willing and able, as I'm going through this hiring process. She knows everyone. I know you all know that. But I said, could you make some reference calls for me? And she did that. And then I asked her, could you group text me with some of the alums? And so we've been in a group chat, and I've already gotten to know so many alumni that have poured their heart and soul into this program. So I'm so proud to get to know you and meet you face to face. And then I asked her, I said, will you just send some voice memos about recruiting nuggets that I can use? So at night, I lay down and I listen to CTT right before I go to bed. So I have sweet dreams. So I'm happy that you're here, and I just can't wait to ingrain you back. And you've been so supportive, and I really want to thank you for that. I also want to thank President Mueller and Jamie Boggs, who hired me at GCU. It was an incredible 5 years, and what a great opportunity for me to grow in the coaching profession. And obviously, my family is front row. What a support system I have. My husband, Derek, Cy, my 5-year-old. Remember Cy, peace sign, then pinky. He did it. Works up.
That's good coaching right there.
Yeah, he's coachable. And then Crosby, my 8-year-old, she has it down pat. But they will be around. They're going to love on you, and I know you all are going to love on them, but they've been such a great support system throughout this whole thing, and I'm just very thankful. My father-in-law's here is Dustin, and I know my mom and dad are watching back home. Hi, Mom and Dad. I wouldn't be the person I am today without them, so I'm very thankful. And then I don't know who, but this amazing setup, can we just give a clap to the crew who did this both physically and logistically? It is a beautiful setting, and I'm in recruitment mode because the portal opened yesterday. So this is a PSA to the recruits. When you see the reception footage outside, I get to recruit you to paradise. It is like an average temperature of 72 and sunny, and it's gorgeous. So you can do both. You can play basketball, and you can come to a destination and have some fun. So that was my recruiting PSA. I had to do that. And last but not least, just everyone who's here today, thank you for your support. And also one more shout out to James Harden for the supportive tweet. I appreciate that as well. But I'm excited to get to work. I want to hit the ground running. I want to make you proud. And hopefully we all leave this press conference fired up about ASU women's basketball.
We'll go Jeff Metcalf with the first question. Jesse's next. Robbie Baker, then Jordan Hand, and then we'll go hands up after that. We'll find you.
Right here, Molly. When you put the perspective of, you're a player, you decide to coach, you work your way up, and now you're coming to the largest public institution in the country, going into the Big 12. Can you just put that in perspective of what that means to you? And then for a second question, just the ability to stay here in the Metro Phoenix area, and also recruit in the West, which you've been doing the last few years.
Yes, I love what I do. And so I couldn't do this without people around me, though. And that's probably been the biggest piece of a grateful moment for me, is reflecting on how I got here, but who I got here with. There's been countless coaches, student athletes, administrators, faculty, staff, that you don't go on a journey with unless you're with them. And I'm just so grateful for those moments. And yeah, I think the cherry on top was staying here and saving Graham on some relocation expenses. But honestly, it was the vision that sold me. I mean, I was gonna be pretty picky for my next step if I was blessed to have one. And it was the vision and the commitment to athletics and women's basketball that really made it clear that I belonged here.
Hi, Coach. Jesse Morrison with Arizona Sports. Just this program in the past has had so much success. not quite in the last couple of years, but in the past it has. Just how do you kind of plan to get it back to that, perennial tournament team?
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. I was watching Kenny's interview the other day, and he said he was kind of summing up what this year was going to be, and he made the comment, a sailboat doesn't sail on yesterday's wind. And I was thinking, like, what would our theme or quote be for next year? And so I started thinking about the sailboat theme, and I came up with, when I'm trying to revive a program and generate excitement, when there's no wind in your sail, row. And we're gonna row. I'm gonna get a staff here. We're gonna hit the ground running, we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna row. And, Pat Summitt, her famous quote was, how am I gonna beat you? I'm gonna outwork you. That's it. And that's what we plan to do.
Hey, Coach, over here, Robbie Baker with Fox 10. Good to see you again.
Hi, Robbie.
And congratulations. You kind of got a taste of the Big 12, I guess, in the tournament playing Baylor. Just kind of what stood out about that experience, and what do you kind of anticipate moving into this conference?
I remember one question I got asked when I went from Drury to GCU was, will your style translate to the next level? And then we played Baylor, and I'm like, yes, the defense translates, because I'm convicted to that style. And I thought that was just a great kind of first glimpse of how I need to recruit, what the level is. Does the style of play work with that? And so that was a blessing for me also, to not only be in the tournament and experiencing it, but really seeing a top of the conference opponent and how they operate and work, and what do I need to do to plan for the future.
Hey, Coach, back here, Jordan Ham,
Hi,
Sports
Jordan.
360 AZ. For you, I saw that you had mentioned that you feel like you and Graham are similarly wired. How quickly did that become evident to you, and what is it that is similar in the wiring? And then for Graham, how quickly was it, Molly was the, number one priority that you wanted to pursue?
I probably, I got to campus, and Graham and Allison were kind enough to show me around one evening, but he came hand in with I told him once, I don't drink coffee. This stuff runs through my veins naturally. I drink chai teas though, and in hand was a chai tea waiting for me. I'm like, that's a recruiting stunt I would have pulled. So I just think there's similarities in not only the work ethic and the vision and the mission, but making people important. And I really valued that about Graham.
Yeah, Jordy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I quick shout out to Herb Courtney from Renaissance Search is here, and Mike Harrison, who's on Molly's team. And I think early in the process, we'd gotten word that, hey, Molly's going to have a lot of opportunities should she be pursuing a job elsewhere. And if she's on our list, we better start to move quickly. And so we had set up an initial conversation one evening that was probably, just an initial touch base. Let's talk about our process, understand what the next steps would be. I think we spent 2+ hours on the phone, and it was a very fluid, natural, exciting conversation. And we had a chance to follow up the day after that. And I think there was both a mutual spark and connection that, hey, we see the world similarly. We understand that we're very capable here at ASU, that this is a destination. We've seen that in the success that we're having in other sports, and that we want as a department coaches that are prioritizing an opportunity to come to ASU and be here for hopefully the best years of her career. And this is the next move that she ends up making. And so that was very evident in the conversation that she had circled ASU as a target for her as a head coach, for somebody that's recruiting to an elite university, and for a great place to grow and raise her family. And so, what was initial couple-minute phone call turned into a couple hours, and I think we had daily correspondence ever since. And so immediate connection, seeing the world very similarly, similar values, attention to detail, and the belief that we're capable of elite levels of success here at ASU and everything we do.
Hey, Molly. Mark McClune, Arizona's Family, 3TV, CBS 5. Congratulations on today. Curious, you mentioned your sales pitch to recruits out there. What does your next couple weeks look like from an hours perspective? And then with the current state with the transfer portal, what's a turnaround look like? How realistic is it to get this thing pointed the right direction quicker than it would be in past years?
Well, at 9 p.m. last night, security tried to kick me out of my office. So we're just burning the midnight oil, because that's the day and age we live in with the portal. Like I said, it opened yesterday, and we're hitting the ground running. And that's going to be a process for me. I'm going to lead with culture pieces. I think that's really important right off the gate to establish your culture. I want to provide a healthy environment for student athletes to meet their potential, and they feel empowered to do that. So we're starting right away. I mean, I used to say you could sleep in April, but now with the environment, we're just going to sleep in August, maybe. I mean, we'll see.
You know, Molly, we don't have any security. Those are probably U of A spies.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, I said, I'm employed, and they left. He did look like a kid with a backpack now that you mention it.
We got to get on that.
Hey, Coach Molly, right here. I'm Aya Abdeen for the State Press. Congratulations on getting the new role with Arizona State. So the last time ASU advanced to the NCAA Tournament was in 2019. How are you looking to turn around this, especially after leading GCU to its first ever NCAA appearance?
Well, first you got to recruit talent, but I think there's an important piece that has to mirror that with your culture. And I do think teams take on the personality of their head coach. So you'll see a coach with moxie and enthusiasm and relentless energy and effort and passion, and you'll see our players play that way on the court. So as talented as we're going to even be better on the branding side of it's going to be fun to watch ASU basketball. We're going to get after it. We're going to be gritty. We're going to be passionate. We're going to lead with energy and effort. This is going to be a team-first approach, and I think that's going to help us get really far.
And especially when you mentioned the first team approach, how are you looking to take that as Arizona State looks to get 1% better every game?
The person next to you, their needs is more important than your own. And I've preached that to my program. And you have to lead with selflessness and a servant heart to help others around you. And that's just going to be one of our cornerstones. I'm going to build this thing on rock, not sand. And we're going to have a really solid foundation of culture, family, faith, friends that's going to lead us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Michael Caratonito, Pitchfork Lounge, congratulations. To piggyback off the recruiting, I know obviously the transfer portal's huge, but you're kind of balancing, like you said, recruiting to Paradise and what's been going on in the athletic program, but just getting, like, locating those freshmen and stuff like that. I mean, your balance just in attacking that. And also, I know you mentioned, obviously, the whole athletic department, but just as a coach, I mean, to see other programs doing well, how much fun is that for you as a coach and just like the basketball team to see that as well?
Yeah, well, I got a warm welcome from softball coaches at the softball game. They gave me a gift basket. I've had interactions via text through the coaches. So there really is something special here. And I'm excited to be a part of that. And then the recruiting pitch, we got to keep good Arizona players here. And I'm going to recruit in the backyard first. And if they're good enough to play at this level, then we're going to recruit them, and we're going to recruit them early. So by the time that their junior season comes and they're ready to make a decision, they've already had 3 years of Arizona State, Coach Miller, every staff member at their games cheering them on, and they feel that ownership and pride in representing their state. So if there's talent here, we want to keep them at ASU.
Hi, Coach. Around the corner, Adam Keenan, Inferno Intel. This is obviously a very proud program that has had its moments of success throughout the years. How do you reinvigorate the fan base and kind of bring them back in to this program?
Well, I'm open, available, and accessible. Stop by. I want to meet you. I want to shake everyone's hands. I want to get to know you. You're going to teach me about ASU, and that's exciting for me. I also think just the brand and the nature of the style is fun to watch. It's fun to coach. It's fun to teach. Recruits want to be a part of it. So that is going to help us in that recruiting and just that energy towards the program. So I love people. I'm a people person. So if we can do this as a family, I just think the sky's the limit.
Anybody else?
Kobe Bronstein House, Sparky, Molly, first off, congratulations. When you started your coaching career, your alma mater, Drury, in 2012, obviously you've worked your way up to now. 13 years later, you're sitting here at Arizona State. In what ways do you feel like you've grown the most as a coach and as a leader?
I've said this before, your experience helps you grow, right? But I became such a better coach when I became a parent. Like, you kind of learn what tough love looks like. You want to have a standard and expectation. And I think these kids, my biological kids and my basketball kids, want to be held to a standard and loved along the way. I'm going to wrap my arms around them, but I'm also going to push them. I'm going to push them on the court. I'm going to push them in the classroom. So I think just understanding that if you have those relationships, those kids will run through a wall for you. And I do the same for them.
Hi, Coach. Aiden Blank, also House of Sparky. You've been in the Valley for half a decade now, coaching at the D1 level. What specifically was it about this location? Now, you mentioned saving on moving expenses when you moved here. What specifically was it about this location that makes it easier for you to coach here and easier for you to build a team and a family here?
I think the community. You know, you've got kind of the best of both worlds. This is what I just told a recruit, that we have 4 visits scheduled right now from the portal, by the way. But I said, you can have the best of both worlds. Like, you have this family, homey feeling within your program, and then you've got an incredible academic institution and an athletic institution. And then you have Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, an area where you can really spread your wings and be whoever you want to be and be innovative like the university and explore a little bit about yourself. And I just think that's such a great sell for these kids in their formidable years. And part of our responsibility is developing them into being good stewards of the community. And what a great mix of opportunity that this place provides.
Hi, Coach. Luke Carter, Cronkite News. I want to ask you, what's your message to the Arizona State student population and why they should buy into you as the head coach and this team and show up to games to help the energy next year with this team and your first year?
Let's go! Let's go! Like, you're going to be my people. You know, I want to rally and do a little huddle jump with you after games. I want to meet you before games. I want to invite you into practices. We had an open practice for our student group last year. Like, I want you to feel ownership and I want you to be a part of this. So I can't wait to ingrain myself in the student body and have you all come see a fun brand of basketball, but something you're going to be really, really proud of to represent Arizona State.
And we've got a great start with our Inferno Insider and 942 crew in the house tonight as well.
942 crew, shout out. Let's go.
One more in the back, and then we'll do one-on-ones.
Hi, Coach. Ethan Ignatowski with Walter Cronkite Sports Network. What can you take from your experience with GCU leading them to March Madness, and what can you take from that experience into this new role at ASU and bring the program back to its glory days?
You know, the momentum of women's basketball, like Dr. Crow alluded to, is on a high. But I think the momentum for me of experiencing the tournament at this level, it really gave me insight to the approach I need to take. And I'm going to use that experience as power for me to understand maybe what I didn't know before. And so that was just a huge step in my career to experience that and then take that along with me.
Dr. Crow will be available for one-on-ones for about 10 minutes. We will help you get one-on-ones with Graham and Coach Miller over there. And she's coming out of retirement for one-on-one interviews as well. Coach Charlie is here. Thank you, Coach. But thanks for everybody for being here, and we're here to help you out.
Thank you, everyone.